think it's kind of exciting that you have a brand new asset class. Hey everybody, this is Digital Asset Guy. I'm your host. Thank you for tuning in. Here is a new Forbes article that says how much Donald Trump is worth. And it says crypto cash and court rulings have combined to make America's billionaire-in-chief much, much richer over the past year. I think this is just kind of, I don't know, I think it's funny. I'll bet Trump probably will read it and laugh and be like, these people, seriously? What will they think of next to say about me? You know, I make $100 billion or so, and they say that made me so much more rich when I already have like $34 billion. They're going to complain about $100 million. Seriously, very stupid people at Forbes, you know, something like that. But I thought that this article, I thought that it was just kind of ridiculous. Donald Trump's second term as president has so far paid off handsomely for the billionaire head of state. Whether striking deals in the Middle East, shilling his crypto coins, or hosting luminaries at his properties, Trump has proven that he and his family are very much still in business. The president is now worth $6.5 billion according to Forbes, world's billionaire list, up by $1.4 billion from a year ago. He ranks 645th among the planet's 3,428 billionaires, up from 700th in 2025. So, I don't know. I know that he's lost money becoming president. It doesn't pay as well as the other things he does. I'm sure it's helped him in a lot of ways, but I don't think crypto is responsible for making his net worth percentage grow that much. Because down here it even says he has netted an estimated $550 million over the past year from sales of crypto tokens issued by World Liberty Finance. And they reportedly sold 49% stake in World Liberty Finance. So I'm just saying, we're talking hundreds of millions here when he has billions. I don't see how. They act like he's ripped off all these people and he's just so much richer because of his crypto dealings. You know, anyone can make a meme coin. Anyone can make their own crypto company, and I think people just like to criticize. But if I were in his position, I'd probably do it too. I know a lot of crypto friends that I have, and some big dogs in crypto who say he shouldn't have been allowed to make World Liberty Finance and make his meme coin. And I'm like, why not? Anyone can do it. You can do it. I can do it. You know, maybe people are just, I think they're just upset because no one would buy their coin. I mean, people obviously bought it. And I get people saying it's a bad look, kind of, but I think that it was ultimately good for crypto to have Trump coin and Melania coin. Let's see if they have them listed on iTrust Capital. I don't know if they do or not, but this is iTrust Capital, the digital asset guy's favorite place to buy, sell, and hold crypto and precious metals inside of IRAs or just in a premium custody account with institutional grade security. We do have kind of a green day. Bitcoin got up almost to 73,000 or something, 72. You know, so if we look at it on the week, we were up around 70. Oh yeah, 73 was like last week, and then we took another run at it. But if we look at it on the year, looks like classic bottoming structure. I'm no chart analyst, but I have been through about 3 major bear market bottoms. And this looks like at some point we're going to get out of here. But anyway, back to what we were doing. We're trying to find World Liberty Finance. There it is right there. World Liberty Finance. And they do support it. You can buy and sell it. why not? You know, let's see. Do they have, yeah, official Trump coin? Let's look at the chart on it real quick. The year, yeah, it's went down. People bought it at the beginning, but that's what most coins do. And would have been nice to buy it right there, right? But that's what they do. VeChain hanging in there at 7/10 of a penny. The digital asset guy backed up the truck on VeChain already. And then if we do get another test of the bottom and we see this thing go down, I want it to go down. I want to see it like it was in 2020 when I was about to buy it. I logged on and it was way down, like 2/10 of a penny. And someone commented on X, they said, is VeChain still even a thing? And I got scared and I didn't buy, and that's when I should have bought. Of course, nothing that I say or talk about or show on these videos is financial or investment advice, just my own personal thoughts, opinions, philosophies, strategies, just for entertainment purposes only. Let's see, is Melania coin on here? Let's see. Orca, I know people involved in that. Was invited to a very fancy party one time in my hometown with a bunch of Orca people. Might be a good project. Well, anyway, so you can go on there and see all the ones. I'm going to post a link in the description to iTrust Capital. If you use my link, you'll get a free $100 after you fund your account. So today I wanted to talk about some really cool things that happened at XRP Las Vegas last year, as it is coming up at the end of April this year. Here's Greg Kidd, who is a really interesting guy. I won't go into all of it now, but I believe he was an early investor in PayPal. I'm going to show you, I'll show you now. It says, back at my old digs at the Federal Reserve Board of Governors in D.C., he was involved in a lot of things. This is like a top 1%er kind of guy. You can watch Digital Asset Investors interview with him. That is one of the best, most informative, mind-blowing interviews I've ever seen in my time in the space. Here is him being interviewed by the one and only Eleanor Terrett.
I've never seen in all my time since being in payments, in crypto, the planets aligned as well as they are now. And so amazing things are happening. We couldn't be more excited to be able to finally.
And by the way, this is someone who I believe, to my knowledge, unless something changed, he holds 1% of all the XRP in circulation, or either the circulation, or I don't know the exact. I just know I've heard he owns 1% of all of the XRP is what I have heard.
So take everything that's on the ledger has a crypto address and a bank account routing number. Mm-hmm. It's not like there's this and this and they. It's one ledger, dual addressed. It's like in the old days they used to have CDMA and GSM phone. Somebody finally said, why don't you just make the phones do both? Or 110 volt, 220. Now everything is one thing, but the ledger of record, make no mistake, is a crypto ledger like the XRP ledger. Mm-hmm.
You know, I was in the room for this. And there's just something about being there in person where it makes these people real. Being in the room with this guy, this is like being in the room with a Steve Jobs, or, just someone who's, a real top 1%er, brilliant, they're in the know. And then when you see them walking around at the conference, you might catch them before they get swarmed. You might hear their conversation. That's when you hear things from people who know what they're talking about. And that's when you start to have beliefs and conviction. And those things happen at XRP Las Vegas. This is posted by Digital Perspectives, Brad Kimes, my brother. He's a drummer. Digital Asset Guy's a saxophone player. But not only do we have a crypto connection, but also a music one. I got to ask Brad if we're having a jam session this year. We were talking about it last year. Anyway, this is at XRP Las Vegas. You need to be there. Here is, we already looked at that. Here's XRP Las Vegas, the website. 50 days, 3 hours, 34 minutes. Digital Asset Guy has his tickets, and they are still discounted, I believe. And it'll be at the beautiful Paris Hotel, which the Digital Asset Guy has already stayed at. They have an amazing pool, and I hear that the after party is going to be a pool party where they have this Eiffel Tower, and it's a pretty awesome pool. I think it's going to be an awesome after party. But go ahead and get your tickets. And I'm telling you, if you're on the fence about this, well, first of all, watch my video where I did a little speech on how it affected me. Watch my Digital Asset Guy stories from XRP Las Vegas 2025, and you'll see. I mean, I've talked about it so much on this channel, but anyway, you just need to be there. Even if you're on the fence, just go. I don't think you'll regret it. Here is Crypto Quincy Jones. I have my little interview, and I just found him before the conference the morning of walking when I was going to get coffee. Hey, Quincy, come here, and you can watch this little interview. And then I've got Quincy Jones, the jazz composer, Quincy Jones music playing in the background. And Quincy told me that his parents are both jazz musicians, I believe, and that's kind of why they named him after the Quincy Jones, the music guy. But anyway, here's Quincy Jones on the stage talking about some really interesting things. When we talk about the utility of crypto, especially like XRP, how it's going to be used, why it will need to be used, when you go to something like XRP Las Vegas and you hear real people in person talking about the use cases and everything they have planned, it's just different than reading about it or listening to a YouTube video.
To a game, create a game that's really engaging, and then help that community grow via that game. But I really do look at it as tokenizing fun. It's what it's supposed to be. In some respects, the financial aspect of it should be secondary. It should be an enhancer, but it shouldn't be the reason why you're doing the thing. If the only reason anybody's doing anything is for money, eventually that runs out. Right? There'll be another fad. There'll be another token. There'll be something that people pay attention to, which takes them away from that. But if they're genuinely having a good time and they're building relationships and growing community, and then there's a financial aspect to that, and you put that all together and you mix it up, it can be really powerful.
I think Tyler brought up a really good point in terms of people being able to find liquidity in otherwise abstract instruments. So if I bought something and I was given a rewards that allows me 20% or something, and I don't actually use it, there's all these different tools that are basically, they're valuable, but because they're not being exercised, no one actually gets to use the value. So being able to have that token and being able to sell it, even though you're not going to use it, usually the example I like to give is, let's say you go to like McDonald's a lot or something, you get a lot of rewards points, and then you say, hey, I'm on a diet, I'm never going to McDonald's again, but you got $10 in rewards points. There's no liquidity to be able to get rid of that. But being able to have that as a token and being able to sell that as a means, you're not going to use it, but maybe you sold $10 of rewards points for $8 because somebody else would be able to use it. They're able to capitalize off that value, you're able to liquidate it, and you're able to essentially find value in things that otherwise wouldn't have been able to be exercised in that way.
Quincy, you hit on something that's really powerful there. If you can turn your user into your holder, but not force them to be a holder forever, then you can do a lot with that.
Yeah, it builds trust.
Yeah.
Instead of forcing them into a certain path, they get to choose their fate, their direction.
Yeah.
So anyway, when you listen to these real discussions on the stage, it really connects the dots and things, and you'll hear things at XRP Vegas that you won't hear anywhere else, literally. So that's one of the reasons to go, and there's just cool people, developers, people in crypto media. And then there were even, like I met Linda P. Jones, who is kind of new to crypto, but she's a Wall Street vet. I met her there, got to chat with her. I think got to eat lunch with her too. But it's just so cool. It gets you in the room with all of these people. And I think someday there will come a day where you can't get in a room with like Brad Garlinghouse, David Schwartz, Greg Kidd, these kind of guys. I think the community will be just too big. It'd be like we're going to have a meetup for Facebook. We're going to have a meetup for people who are fans of Amazon. I'm sure they did early on, but now it just wouldn't be practical. Vet is a really cool. I think he's an XRP ledger validator, and I think, well, he's an influencer kind of. He interviewed and hosted a lot of discussions at XRP Vegas. I think I remember. Today, he just posted this. Speaking of culture, the XRP community has the best culture in the whole industry. There are so many layers filled with passionate people, many of whom are here for completely different reasons than I am or the person next to us. Pure strength. That is the truth. And he shared Brad Garlinghouse's post, really recent. When was this thing? Yeah, March 10th. It's today, yeah. 3 continents, 4 global office visits, 5 days, across too many time zones to count. Recently, Monica Long and I traveled to Dublin, London, Singapore, and Sydney to meet with the Ripple team and Hidden Road, G Treasury, Rail, all those. A few notes on the road. Centers of gravity are never stagnant, and getting out of the U.S. coastal mindset is imperative. It was incredibly energizing to hear from the new and long-time Ripplers on what moves the needle. Culture cannot be taken for granted. More than ever, we're championing a wow, man, I've never seen this word. Jeez, Brad. Maniacal focus? And eliminating bureaucracy for employees to be owners. Don't confuse activity with progress. So championing a maniacal focus. I can't read today. Adoption doesn't happen overnight. So anyway, you get the idea. Brad really is, he's just a darn good CEO. He's like the most unique CEO ever. I mean, this guy's worth several billion himself. And, you know, I've seen him make comments about his favorite movie. One of his favorite movies is Dumb and Dumber, you know. And I've just seen him make jokes. And he said he's the world's biggest ice cream lover one time in an interview. And, you know, he's just like a real person, even though he's one of the most powerful people in the world. It's just really incredible. I got to see him last year at XRP Vegas. Can't wait to see him again. And then Ripple's chief legal counsel, Stuart Alderati. And as I'm doing my video here on the air, my good friend, I won't say his name because he has like top secret clearance and everything. Say hi to our viewers for Digital Asset Guy News, please.
Hello, viewers.
We're just talking about Stuart Alderati and Brad Garlinghouse.
I love that guy.
He's a bulldog. I would not be.
I love Brad too.
Yeah, you got a picture with Brad. Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, real quick. We're talking about XRP Las Vegas today and why people need to go even though prices are down. So my special mysterious friend who I play Nazi zombies on Call of Duty with, why should people go to XRP Las Vegas?
If you're an XRP holder, you should just go to XRP Vegas. That's where all your friends are. A lot of us have been closeted, going over the years. You just got to go out, meet the real world, meet your fellow holders, and you're going to find a lot of commonalities and a lot of friends that are going to last a long time.
This is the guy in my speech where I was in my jacket, my XRP shirt, and I said I met friends and we're traveling, planning trips and things. This is one of those friends, and I'll call you back in a little bit, but I just want to get your voice in on this video.
Yeah, buddy.
We're playing Call of Duty later. We're playing some zombies later. Okay.
Yeah,
all right. See ya.
You know what? Yeah, bye.
Anyway, that was one of my friends that I met at XRP Vegas. Great guy. So funny. Very good troller, especially when we're playing Nazi zombies. We went back and started playing the old Nazi zombies World at War. It is so darn good. We're talking about how new video games suck. That's our stance. They just suck. So we're playing Nazi zombies, talking about crypto. It's all cool. All right, one last thing to leave you with. Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase, says, you can send money from the U.S. to Australia faster than I wrote this tweet for less than a cent. Thank you, crypto. I posted thanks XRP. Somebody else posted this picture of Brad Garlinghouse next to a goat and said, Amelia says, thanks to the goat of crypto. And the truth is, folks, we love Bitcoin, all the OGs and Ethereum. It's all great, but it's like apples and oranges. If we're talking about instant settlement, cross-border payments, XRP is up to the job. Bitcoin, it's just not. It's not supposed to be. It's being treated as the digital gold. It takes hours. Yeah, we got the Lightning Network, but that's on a layer 2 that you need combined with Bitcoin. And anyway, the point is, Brian Armstrong, he's talking about XRP in this post. There's no way you can argue it. So maybe arguably XLM too. There's a couple other fast ones, but XRP's the fastest. And I think he's trying to send a message here. And there's a lot of people in this that are, Bird is saying, thanks XRPL. XRP Spalding, thanks XRP. Yep, I didn't even realize so many other people. Yeah, that would be XRP. Crypto Life. Let's see, do I know this guy? Give this guy a follow. Looks cool. I'm meeting new members of the XRP army every day. So cool. And it really is cool how it's decentralized and it's just so diverse. People from all over the world because they want to use the utility. That's what it really comes down to. All right, I'm going to make my people mad who don't want long videos and say, your videos are too long. We can get on with them. All right, we're across 22 minutes. I better go. Thank you all for listening. Hope you learned something. Please give me a follow or follow me on X. Give me a subscribe on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up. And please share this video with your friends and family or anyone you think would appreciate it. Thank you very much. Digital Asset Guy out.